Hi, welcome back to my channel, and welcome if you're new. My name is Chia, and today I'm going to be doing an end of the year TBR. I decided instead of doing a monthly TBR, I'm going to do an end of the year TBR because I just feel like it's just the last 2 months of the year, and I'd rather focus on books that I actually really want to read instead of ones where it's like, oh, I might want to read this. These are also part of like books that I have to read by the end of the year because either they're sequels or they're completed trilogies or anything that are coming out in 2025, and they're usually in the beginning of 2025. But yeah, let's get started. The first book I want to get to by the end of this year is Witch Collector by Teresa Weeks. This book is going to be a four book series, I think it is, or 3-book series, because I do know that the third book is sort of like a prequel. This follows a girl named Reina. Her sister got taken by the immortal Frost King years ago because she's been working to find out what happened to her sister and wants to rescue her sister. And then the collector is the one who goes to collect people for the Frost King, and they try to find ways to work towards like a solution of this conflict, and they end up teaming up together. This one has been going around for a while. I know that the 4th book was supposed to be out this year, but something happened, and I guess Teresa is sort of like in a predicament with her publishing company. But I think she announced recently that everything was worked out. She's continuing to write the 4th book. It will hopefully come out in 2025, but we shall see. But I want to start this book before the end of the year. Next one is Beach Reads. I was going to read this over the summer because I love contemporary romances during the summertime, but the more I saw reviews of people reading it, the more it was described to me. Apparently it's more set in a lake house instead of a beach, and I feel like lake houses just scream fall to me or winter to me because it just feels cozy. Correct me if I'm wrong, that's what I heard. But I want to read another book by Emily Henry because I did read Funny Story and Happily Ever After. Holy crap. Happy Place. I fell in love with Emily Henry's writing. This one is like one of her most popular books also, so I can't wait to get into this one as well. I guess it's 2 authors. One writes romance, the other one writes literary fiction. Their names are Augustus and January. I actually like those names, Augustus and January. They're complete opposites. In fact, the only thing they have in common is that for the next 3 months they're living in neighboring beach houses, broke and bogged down with writer's block. But yeah, they work together, and I'm just interested to see why this is so popular. And I of course had to get the special edition because Emily Henry announced this a long time ago, and I pre-ordered it, so I got that. And I love the end pages of this. I love how it's sort of like a sunset kind of thing where it's the water and then the sunset going up. I thought it was really pretty, and I figured that if I was going to own another Emily Henry book, I would like it to be a special edition. The next book I want to get to is The Will of the Many. This one is more of like the Roman Empire, and it follows a character named Viz, and I guess he was orphaned and he goes to a prestigious school, and they have a thing called will, which is a strength, a drive, and a focus. And you find out that he is sent to the academy to actually infiltrate and solve a murder because he is a part of the Republic. And it's all in the synopsis. I just can't wait to read this because I am missing high fantasy in my life, and I want more high fantasy books, and I heard nothing but great things about this. It's more like Roman times, and I am obsessed with Roman and Greek mythology. I can't wait to read this, and it's kind of a chunker though, so we'll see how long it takes me to read that. It's about almost 700 pages. Right. It's a chunker. I believe the 2nd book is coming out in 2025. I think it's slated to come out soon, so I can't wait to read that. The next one is Darker Shade of Magic by B.E. Schwab. This trilogy has been on my shelf for over a year now. When I was getting back into reading last year, this was in a lot of people's favorite fantasy books, and apparently gave them a lot of nostalgia like Harry Potter. And this one follows a character named Cal who is able to travel to 4 different Londons, and each of these different Londons are part of a different world that's that's like different colors. I guess one's a red London, one's a white London, so on and so on. And I'm excited to see what the fuss is about for this, because a lot of people have this on their favorites list. And I want to see why it is on there. And I can't wait to read that. I haven't read any V.E. Schwab books. I do want to read this book first before I move on to any of her other works. The next book I'm hoping to get to by the end of the year is City of Gods and Monsters. City of Gods and Monsters by Kayla Edwards. And this book is book 1 of the House of Devil series. There are 3 books out right now for the series, and I guess it's going to be a 5-book series. And this one's urban fantasy and follows a girl named Lauren and runs into one of the devils who is basically sent as sort of like a bounty hunter, and he ends up running into her and realizes that she's a human. And he doesn't understand why there were so many people who were sent to execute her. He ends up protecting her, and I guess there's like a little love story that happens as well. It's urban fantasy, so I'm hoping it's sort of like Crescent City, but what I wanted from Crescent City is more like a darker, grittier version, where it's sort of like, if you remember the Angel show, I wanted more of that. And I'm hoping it's like that. This one is highly revered as well. Another recommendation from Mariana Reeds. This is one of her top favorite series, and I can't wait to get to it. I don't know when the 4th book is supposed to come out. Apparently every single one ends off in a big cliffhanger as well. I'm hoping to at least get to the 1st book before the end of the year. Next one is Ember in the Ashes by Saba Tahir. This one is a part of a quartet, and it's a completely finished series. And I guess she wrote a spin-off series that released earlier this month or last month that's called Air, and is set in this world. And again, I heard nothing but great things about this. It's a favorite series for a lot of people. I'm looking into more different fantasies that are set in different worlds. I guess her brother is arrested for treason. Her name is Laya, and she has to go undercover as a slave at the Empire's greatest military academy in exchange for assistance from those who claim that they can save her brother from execution. So it's sort of like an academic setting as well. The next book I'm hoping to get to by the end of the year is Blood and Steel by Helen Scher. This one is the 1st book in a 4-part series, but a part of the Legends of Thesmar series, and this book follows a girl named Althea. Althea has always dreamed about being a warrior legend, and I guess in this world women are not allowed to use weapons or get trained to use weapons or get trained to be a part of war, because there was a prophecy that faded where if a woman picks up a sword, there's something bad that will happen to their world. I'm not too sure, but she's trying to fight against that. I guess she wants to join like a shield bearer group where it's sort of like their military, and she tries to prove herself in order to be able to train in it. And I guess she runs into someone named Wilder. This is sort of enemies to lovers, because Wilder doesn't believe that she has what it takes to join the shield bearers in the story, but he ends up having to train her and teach her how to be able to be a shield bearer. I'm so excited that it's a part of a finished series, and I guess there's also another spin-off that's coming out set in the same world. And the next book I want to get to is Fireborn by Rosaria Munda. This one is a political fantasy where it follows dragons, and I am in a dragon drought. Since Onyx Storm is not coming out until January, and I want something to read with dragons before Onyx Storm comes out, I want to read Fourth Ring and Iron Flame before Onyx Storm comes out too, so I'm hoping to read this beforehand. And this one's more political fantasy. It's high fantasy. I believe there's like a small tiny bit of romance in there. I did try to read One the Moon Hatch, which has dragons in it also. Didn't do it for me. This one I'm hoping it will be better. And I'm almost done, I swear. The next book on my TBR is Legendborn by Tracy Dion. I heard nothing but great things about this. There's 2 books out currently. This is Legendborn, and the 2nd book is called Bloodmarked, and I believe the 3rd book is coming out in the beginning of next year. And this one follows a girl named Bree who takes advanced placement classes or graduated early from her high school. She ends up wanting to take college classes, and while she's attending, she ends up witnessing sort of like a demon activity and puts her in a world supposed to be sort of like Merlin. It's not only fantasy, but it talks about social aspects as well and suppression, and I'm excited to see how this is done in this book. And the last 2 books I'm hoping to read by the end of the year is The Assassin's Apprentice by Robin Hobb. This one is a part of a long series. Well, it's not really a part of the same series. It's a part of different series that are set in the same world but are still connected towards each other. and this one is the book I want to start off with in that series because I heard nothing but great things about it. Apparently there's animals in here. It follows a character named Fitz, and I believe Fitz is a huge character in the whole entire series. And like I said, I'm craving high fantasy right now, and this one is highly rated, and I'm hoping that it's in a universe that I end up falling in love with so I can read the rest of the series. And the last book I want to get to before the end of the year is Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia Fairies. This one has been put on so many TBRs of mine on my list for a good while, but it's just that a lot of books have come out that I just want to read first before this one, or if there's another hype book out there that I want to read first, I can't help but picking that up first because I just don't want to be left out, and I want to know what everyone's talking about. But this one, I just feel like it's such a cozy thing to read during the fall time and during the winter months, and I am so excited to get to this because I really want to read this book and the second one, which is Map of the Outer Lands or Other Lands. And the third book is supposed to come out in the beginning of 2025 as well. But yeah, I'm hoping to get to these books by the end of the year. It's a very ambitious TBR. But instead of doing a monthly TBR for November and December, I decided to just combine everything into one video because there is only like a few books that I want to read before the end of the year. And it's very ambitious for me to want to read all this, but I'm hoping to read it in some reading vlogs soon. And also, I'm trying to work my way up to my Goodreads goal. I'm about 75 out of 100. So I need about 25 more books to get that goal, and I have this month and next month to get to that goal, and I am trying to not pressure myself because I don't want to put myself in a slump to push myself to get to my Goodreads goal, but I'm hoping a lot of these will help towards that, and I want good books to go towards. But anyways, thank you again for watching. Subscribe if you want some more, and let me know in the comments if you read any of the books that I mentioned, and thank you for watching. Bye!
You just give me a